You remember these things? Those little cars called the cozy coupes that your parents would buy you for your 3rd birthday and you would Flintstone around your backyard with a full diaper? Well, what if someone made an adult version of one that you could actually drive? This is my new to me. This is my new to me 2006 Suzuki Swift, which I'm going to cut in half and turn it into a tiny little car for adults. Dude, my car, man. But how did I come up with this idea in the first place? I was reminiscing looking at old family photo books when I came across this old photo of me in a cozy coupe, which immediately got me thinking, what if I made an adult-sized version of one? And straight away, I started searching for cars that I could use, but I had a very specific criteria. It had to be front-wheel drive to make it simpler to cut, no drive shafts and no long transmissions. It also had to be a hatchback because I wanted the car to resemble a cozy coupe as much as possible. A sedan would just look really weird. And of course, it had to be cheap. And a couple of weeks later, I got a phone call from a friend who told me he had the perfect car for the job and to promptly get my ass over to his house and buy it. Now this guy I'm buying the car off, you guys might recognize. It's Shanos. Look at that. So Shane hit me up and he's like, I've got a car for you. And I'm like, of course, I need a car. Let's go check it out. I haven't even seen it yet, so I just told him if it's $500, I don't care what it is, as long as it runs and drives, I'll take it.
It did run and drive a year ago. Well, it does run and drive.
That's half the fun. We don't know if it runs and drives. Look at that. Weapon. So this is, what year is it? 2006 Suzuki Swift. And you guys aren't prepared for what's going to happen to this car. It's going to be stuff that I've never done, but it's going to be funny as hell. But now, we should probably see if it starts. So you did say it did start, right, Shane?
It did start. I put a semi-charged battery in it.
It's got a funky smell. Manual, of course. Look at that, 5-speed. Damn. She runs. That's it. That's all I care about. Well, it's got to drive home, but you know, that's not a big deal. We got another car, we'll just push it home. How dark are these windows?
Pretty bad. As I said, all I did when I got it was I put strut tops in it because the engine was popping around. Yeah. You go for years, and it parked it up.
That's it.
Literally, I hadn't even cleaned it. So have fun with the old person stuff that's probably still in this. Yeah, it always did.
Yeah.
All I know is it come from New South Wales, and then it come down here, and then it ended up.
I see. Well, considering the dark tin, it probably came from Bankstown. Probably some funky stuff was going on in this car, but that's okay. It doesn't matter because I've got a Swift now.
We should take a UV light to this thing.
Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely do that. I guess let's move some cars out of the way and see if it can drive it out. I have the mammoth task of turning this Swift into this. 2-year-old Paykin would be proud. I hope this thing makes it home. It'll be funny if it doesn't.
It's alright, I'll push you the rest of the way home.
Yeah, we know it starts, but will it drive? Yeah. Time to hand over the cash. Shane, we'll be seeing you.
Yeah, definitely we'll be seeing you.
We have a lot of plans for this thing, so we'll need to visit.
No, definitely.
Shane has some excellent ideas for what we can do to this, but you guys will just have to stay tuned. But let's get it back to the shop and uncover, I don't know, look through it, see what we can find. Alright, so now that the car is in the shop, where do we even start? All I know is that this car needs to be a lot shorter than it currently is. Right now, it's got 4 doors. So this door is obviously going to get eliminated. But the question is, how far do we bring this section forward? And how much do we chop out? Well, I'm gonna have to think about it. So I'm gonna go over to my whiteboard here. this car is going to be so short, I actually don't know if it'll drive because there's going to be so much weight in the front that it might just topple over. First things first, everything in here has to go and hopefully the stink follows. When I said everything had to go, I meant it. Seats, carpet, interior trims, boot liner, spare wheel, seat belts, and so on. I wanted nothing in the way of me and my reciprocating saw. All right, so now that the interior has been taken out of the back, I need to start deciding how short we want this car to be. And I have somewhat of a plan. So basically, I want this back wheel to be as close or literally in this door as possible. I want this thing to be doing endos whenever I touch the brakes because it will not have rear brakes. I can't be bothered running the rear brakes. So we need to start drawing on the car and trying to figure out where we're gonna cut it on the outside. And of course, I can't really do this alone because I'm an idiot and I don't know what I'm doing. So I'd like to reintroduce a character on the channel. Shanos is back. Well, I mean, technically, we bought the car off Shane. He didn't need the car.
Nah.
So when I hit Shane up, I'm like, what are the chances that you have time to build a car for me?
And well,
you did.
I did.
In terms of measuring everything,
I mean, I don't think anyone's good at doing this. Every job you do is going to be slightly different to the last, but we'll get it done.
and this time we don't have to care.
Nah, that's the
like
fun
a
part.
Commodore.
Well, I'm thinking we're going to use this section as the new replacement center pillar. So get rid of this center pillar, so it'll be somewhere like around here.
Yep.
That's going to come in probably around here. Probably a good 800 mil. And the idea is now the door itself will get modified and we'll actually use this section of the door onto this door, and the new latch mechanism will obviously be the back half.
So basically we're getting rid of this door.
This section, this section, all of this, and we'll be bringing this up to it.
So this will be the new front door handle.
Driver's seat will sit in here, pretty much.
Sounds like a plan.
And that is going to stitch onto around there.
Cool.
That's what we'll be missing.
So we will have our wheel arch in here.
Yep.
Pretty much.
So the wheel arch itself will probably be about there.
This is a little bit daunting. Like I said, I don't really know where to start, but there's only one way to find out, and that's just to start cutting. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the saying, "F around and find out." Well, that's exactly what's about to happen right after all these doors come off. Once I've finished cutting and shortening the car, I'll have to modify the doors to suit, but until the Swift gets shortened to my desired length, I won't know how much I'll need to modify these doors in order for them to fit. So now the car's up in the air, we need to start removing a few things under here. Mainly this fuel tank and this exhaust. Normally, you would just unbolt the exhaust. But because we're basically cutting the car right here, I can just lob the exhaust off here. And then I have to figure out what to do with these brake lines. Let's get to taking the fuel tank out. Now, it'd be pretty rude not to start the car up with no exhaust, so let's do that quickly. So anyways, the final part that had to come out of the car was the fuel tank. Since this car will end up so short that the only place this tank will be able to fit is in whatever's left of the boot, but we'll cross that bridge later on. I'm just getting ready to start cutting, and I saw the most disgusting thing on this car. Colony of ants. Yuck, man. All right, we are getting ready to cut. So what I've done here is I've laid down a piece of string because obviously it's not a flat surface. So the string is going to act like a guideline for me. I'm only going to be using the reciprocating saw. So I'm literally going to go a straight line down here. For the roof, we're actually going to go a bit further back, and I'll explain why after I cut it because it'll be easier to visualize. Now it is time to actually start cutting. I'm pretty nervous because this is the type of thing where you cut once, I've measured it as much as I can, but if I mess it up, there's not a whole lot we can do. So hopefully it's as straight as possible. It's just going to, both sides are going to mate up as perfectly as possible, but fingers crossed, this actually turns out how I'm hoping it will. Well, here goes nothing. Weeks of planning and preparation coming down to this very moment. Now you might think cutting a car in half is the easiest thing in the world, and you'd be right, but cutting a car in half and mating the two parts together is not easy. Hopefully Mrs. Smith taught me well in Year 8 maths class. Here goes nothing.
This guy's not normal.
Oh, what do you mean?
Not normal. What are you doing? This is a perfectly normal.
Nah, it stunk too bad, so I'm just cutting it in half to get rid of the stink.
Bro, you wrote it off.
Nah, it's fine. You know, Shane told me to jack it up from the middle so it doesn't fold in half. Very clever, that man. Are you entertained?
Yep.
That's good, because I'm scared. I did it. Mate, only one more cut to go. A little bit longer, and I'm gonna have half a Suzuki Swift. God damn. So close.
Wait, did you take off all the brake lights and shit?
Yeah. I think that's it. I think that's it.
Wait, what? How's it supposed to be chopped in half?
What do you mean?
The thing's still connected, bro.
Yeah.
Look.
Alright, got a couple of the boys here. Obviously Rex has just been around, but Mason just popped past. What do you reckon?
Bit of a fuckery here.
Oh yeah.
That's what we're going for. I mean, like, I'm sick of driving normal cars.
Bro,
I want something.
This guy is not normal.
I know.
You're not normal.
Not one bit.
Not one bit.
Yeah.
But it looked good on the road.
I needed I needed a Nathan size car, so I'm making one, custom making one.
It's Nathan's size, right? Yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
even be able to drive this.
No, you'll drive it. I'll make you drive it.
He's missing the booster seat.
I'm gonna custom make a booster seat. It's gonna be inbuilt into the car.
Inbuilt.
Do you know those cozy cruisers? That's what this is gonna
Maybe we
be.
should put an airbag underneath the booster seat just in case it does have an accident. He goes out through the roof.
There you go.
Right.
Or a Fast and Furious get out button.
We've got
Listen,
some
listen.
spare bags.
Alright, I need silence, alright?
What?
I need 2 volunteers to cut each B pillar and the car will be in half.
Purposes rock. Hey, fast is rock. Oh, fuck.
Alright, Mason, you go first. Rex, you're doing the other one. Are you qualified to operate that?
Wait, bump the hoist up, Mason.
You're gonna press harder to pump this. Oh, shit!
It's going.
Oh, fuck!
Keep going.
Oh!
Dude, my car, man. As you can see, the surgery was a success. At this point, I was feeling really happy that I didn't screw anything up, and it meant that I was able to get onto the next step, which was actually cutting material out of the Swift to make it shorter. Well, it is the next day now, and I can't believe I have a chopped in half Swift. What am I doing with my life?
We got one half here, and we got another half here. And Shane is back.
What do you think of your car?
It's quite funny, but it's going to be cool when it's done.
Now that we have the car chopped in half, Shane is back to help me with more measuring. This is what we've come up with so far. So basically, the whole plan with this thing is to make it as short as humanly possible.
What Shane has explained to me is that we're basically going to keep this cut here, but we need to figure out what we're going to do with the roof. But that's not really important. But basically, this half of the car is going to join up about here. So wherever the front control arms for the rear suspension stop is basically where it's going to join up. And then obviously this B pillar is going to go, and the C pillar will become the B pillar, and I'm going to be sitting right about here.
Which is quite funny, but this car is going to be so short, I reckon I could give this thing a hug. It's going to be hilarious. Shane whipped out the old eyeball measuring tape and started cutting material out of the back half of the Swift. Now, at this point, I was a little apprehensive that the car wasn't going to be short enough, which actually ended up being the case later in the video, but we solved that issue. Now remember guys, this is the look I'm going for. So the shorter we can make it, the better.
Say mums.
Something's not right.
I don't feel so good.
All right, here's the plan now. Shane and I have cut off
the roof skin off the back half of the Swift. Also, as you saw earlier, we cut a little bit more off the floor. And what we're gonna do now that we've chopped this out as well, we're gonna move this half of the car onto the back, and hopefully this roof skin will just slot right into place here. Obviously, this is just an approximation. Is that even a word? Now we're gonna move the two halves together and see how well it lines up. This moment right here is the beginning of something beautiful. The first version of the Suzuki Sperm. If you lot watching think that this car is still not short enough, well, don't worry, because I was thinking the exact same thing. And believe me, later in the video, it got even shorter. What you see here is not even as short as this car is going to get. This looks ridiculous as it is. It's probably going to be shortened another, I'd say, half a meter. Maybe this much. However much a meter is. Maybe like that much. It's going to be tiny. My goal is to be able to hug one hand on the front and one on the back. If it's that short, that means it's perfect. But this already looks so strange. I chop this, and then this is plated because we need some support for that. And that's going to be as much as we can take out of the back. But we still have heaps more to take out of the front. We've been busy. More cutting has occurred. I'm obviously not going to show everything because you guys will just start falling asleep. But pretty much, Shane has done a cut here and here. And that is going to slot in perfectly with the rail here. And it's gusseted and it's flattened out from the factory. It's almost as if they knew that someone was going to be doing this. From the last time you saw the car put together, a good 6 to 8 inches at least has been chopped out of it. So it's going to be ridiculously small now. We are moments away from putting the two halves back together. We're just going to flip this around. But when this car is done, I will literally be able to park it in my bay and Lachlan and Rex will be able to drive faster. I won't even need to park it here. So now we just need to cut out the roof and close that gap up. You think I was done making this thing shorter? Well, if you did, shame on you. Because even after I cut the pillars out and mocked up both halves again, I still thought it wasn't short enough. Remember guys, if my goal is to make something like this, I have to think outside the box. So I've decided that this Swift is not short enough. I'm going against Shane's advice and we're going to be cutting it an extra 8 inches. So there's 8 inches here and here. Because although this thing already looks ridiculous, I don't think it's short enough. I ripped out the carpet off camera and we're going to cut here, notch it here, and then it's going to join up to this piece perfectly. I think we're going to leave it at that because otherwise the steering wheel is going to be in your chest because I'm going to be sitting about here. If we're cutting it this much, I'm probably going to be sitting about there. And the steering wheel is going to be literally right up at my chest. I'm probably going to have to get an aftermarket steering wheel anyway for it, just so I'll be able to drive it. I'm keen to see what this thing looks like when it's all chopped up. If you've made it this far into the video, make sure to subscribe. And if you like what you're seeing, hit that thumbs up button because you lot are about to see the Suzuki Sperm's final form. Now this is what I'm talking about. We've cut it so perfectly that for me, perfect. Jane and I were worried that I was going to be sitting way too close to the steering wheel, but honestly, I'm going to be sitting a little bit higher. Obviously the seat is going to be in and a little bit further forward, but this isn't even bad. This is perfect. Now we just need to weld it together and make it run and put the doors on and the windows and the seats.
Can you believe the whole car is in frame right here?
Is it?
The whole car is in frame right here.
This car is never going up on a hoist anymore. This is just not possible now. So as you can see here, this is the Swift's final form. This is as short as we can possibly make it without having to just completely remanufacture the entire car. We've cut it back as far as we can on this side, but on this side, if we make it any shorter, I physically won't be able to get into the car. And I won't be able to steer it. So this is it. I haven't measured exactly how long it is yet, but I'm at the point where it is finally time to start tacking this thing up so we can get rid of these clamps and this ratchet strap. I have actually started tacking it up. I'm by no means a professional welder, nor am I even an amateur. I am horrible at welding, but I gave it a good old go. Just excuse the welds, they're absolutely horrendous, but here is what they look like. They are disgusting, but the car is holding together, at least on this side. This is it. This is how it's going to stay. And by the end of this video, this car will drive out of the shop. And I'm so keen for that. This is gonna be hilarious. I'm gonna crack on trying to MIG this thing together as best as I can, and then we'll worry about welding and reinforcements later on. I was on the final stretch of building my very own adult-sized cozy cruiser. I tried my very best with the MIG welder, and somehow I managed to glue the car together. I could finally see the light at the end of the tunnel with this thing, and that was of course taking it for its first drive, Shorten. So it's the next day now, and I've taken the Swift off the hoist. I actually cannot believe that with the small amount of welds that I did yesterday, it's holding the car together. Check this out. I actually cannot believe how strong it is. Even with these little crappy welds on either side, there's barely any flex in the car whatsoever, which is really surprising. I thought honestly I was gonna take it off the hoist and it was just gonna fold in half like 2 bricks being held together with a playing card. But the reason we're taking it off the hoist is because my mate Ollie is bringing his E36 in to pull the running gear out of it. I don't really need it on the hoist, nor can it really go on a hoist ever again. So we're gonna put it right here. There's gonna be more space to work on it. So it's gonna roll now for the very first time, stuck together. Oh, look at the driving position. It's perfect.
If you're 4'2".
Well, I'm like 4'2 1/4", so it's perfect. It's like perfectly shaped to contour a body as well. I think once it has seats in it though, I don't know how ergonomic it's gonna be. Oh my God, it's so light. Wait, I'll put the battery on, just crank it. Alright, there is a lot happening. E36 is on the hoist, but more importantly, the Swift is getting welded along the roof now. So Shane is back here again. Unfortunately, he had to correct some of my work yesterday, so a little bit of an oversight on my part. The roof pillar, so this part here, was way up here, and off camera I tried to correct it. I tried to ratchet strap it down, but because I already welded the bottom, it was not going anywhere. So basically had to cut and re-weld the bottom again and essentially put a little slit in it. So we cut it on an angle and then we join the 2 halves again, and it sort of brought the back of the car up. So this way, it brings this part to here, and we don't have to close much of a gap anymore. Before, this gap was about this big, and the top of the roof was about here. So now, what we're gonna do is ratchet strap the pillars in so that it joins up with this body line, or this C-pillar really, and then we can weld the top. We're getting very, very close. We are more than 50% of the way, I'd say, which is a very good achievement. Like it's supposed to be.
Pretty damn good.
And it's straight here now.
Yeah, don't worry about tacking this, clean this up, tack this first, then we'll pull the other side over too.
Beautiful. Shane's genius medieval ratchet strap contraption worked, perfectly blending the roof pillar to mate into the C-pillar. This thing is starting to look more and more like a cozy cruiser by the minute. And once that process was done, Shane did a little bit of panel beating to get the body lines perfect, and after that, he was able to weld both pillars seamlessly. So I just have the car jacked up in the air because Ollie and I just put the fuel tank in the boot. I've ran a 5/16 hose to the feed line. Lucky this is a returnless system, so it's just one fuel line. It should theoretically turn on. All right, let's see. I was gonna say I can't believe it's working, but I can believe it because there's really not much to it. Fuel tank in the boot. I didn't chop the wiring, that's still there. This is the factory wiring. A few warning lights on the dash. We've got an airbag light, ABS light. Probably because the wheel speed sensors have been chopped off in the back because we have no rear brakes. But later in this video, I'm going to take it for a little drive. It's highly illegal, so I can't go too crazy, but it'll drive. What a success. I couldn't hold myself back. I had to at least move the Swift around the shop. It was unbelievable.
Just use the wall as a brake.
When people like look behind and they put their hand on the back of the seat, mate, I'll just grab the back of the car.
See if you can make it. Oh no. Oh, no brakes, no brakes.
So now the car is all welded together with Shane's beautiful welds. Now we have the task of trying to make a door fit. So we want to make it look as much of a car as possible. Just for reference, this is the rear door, driver's side rear door. As you can see, this is not going to work. Not only is the car shorter, but our roof line is now lower because we've had to bring the pillar down. So I have a lot of work to do to make one door out of two doors. First of all, I'm going to strip the door down to absolutely nothing. It's going to be no glass, no door panel, no nothing on the inside. And then I'm going to have to start chopping and it's going to be an absolute nightmare, but it's what you got to do when you make mini cars. So I started off by pulling the door apart, removing every single component that wasn't straight metal, meaning the door card, glass, window regulator, speaker, and the wiring harness. I then used my eyeball tape measure to mark out an imaginary line and started cutting. Unfortunately, I couldn't quite figure out how to mate the two doors together, so I decided to take a break and leave to grab some more cutting supplies. And by some miracle, Mason popped around the shop while I was gone, saw what I was trying to do, and just magically spawned in a perfectly fitting door. I have great mates. So I just briefly stepped out of the shop. Mason just comes around and just cuts my door.
Why not?
Can you believe this guy?
Looks half better.
Mate, it's actually a godsend. It's almost like he knew I was struggling and he came and helped. This is the front door. That's what I cut earlier for the rear door. Mason ended up cutting a little bit off the front door, little by little, made it work. Now there's just a few little small cuts I got to make in order to make it fit better, and obviously this as well. But it's actually surprising how different the rear door is from the front door. Like, not only is it obviously a different shape because it's for the front of the car, but it's a different height as well. So the rear door is a lot higher than the front. This will be a problem I'll get to later on, but at the very least we will have a working door. As you can probably see, the door is not perfect, but that's something I'll address in the next video. Mason and I finalized a couple of small things to make the door fit better and properly latch. Phase 1 of the Suzuki sperm build was complete. And there we go. Car's not done yet, but it's very, very close. God damn. There we go.
Hey, at least it works.
Functioning door, you know. Massive shout out to both Shane and Mason. If they didn't come and give me a hand, this car would still be chopped in half. So thank you, Mason, and thank you, Shane. As you can see, the door is not finished, but in the next episode on this car, every single panel will be on and you guys will see the new color scheme as well of the car. The whole idea is that I made a car that adults can drive, but it's from their childhood. It's a kid's car. There's a few things obviously we have to do on the interior. There's a big gaping hole down here and you can see the rear suspension beam. This car's not gonna get driven on the road, so I don't know if we'll end up doing that, but still got to trim up here, still have to do the other door, finish the roof as well, which I majorly screwed up, as you can see there. I actually spent an entire day welding the roof, trying to get it all perfect, and then it ended up looking like a U. So I had to cut it out again and re-weld it. Ended up cutting a bit too much off that, but there's nothing a bit of bog can't fix, you know? Considering this is my first time cutting and shutting a car, I mean, it's not bad, right?
Pretty damn good. Looks the part. It's Nathan sized.
That's right. Look. I haven't grown since that photo was taken of me when I was about a year and a half old. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the new car on the channel. It's definitely a big step away from my usual content, but I'm having a lot of fun doing this, and I'm learning a lot as well about welding and cutting and things I shouldn't be doing to a car. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.